And let me get one last shuffle here and we will begin with your reading. Alright, so I have here the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands reverse, the Six of Swords reverse. Oh, I'm sorry, upright. The Justice card reversed. The Lovers reverse. The Empress upright. The Fool reverse. The Eight of Swords upright. I'm going to pull out two more cards here. And I have the Four of Swords and the Moon in the reverse position. Okay, so, alright. So if I were to break this down into two themes, you know, obviously the Lover is here. So, the one main thing I would say is disruption in the home. There's just a lot of things going on in this spread. But, the two major things that I'm seeing is, disruption in the home that forces you to move forward, but also like a lot of hesitancy when it comes to moving forward and doing things on your own. So there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety about making it on your own, and a lot of self-doubt, I feel, as well. You know, with that Lover situation, I just feel that it is Mercury in retrograde. It is also the time of Valentine's Day. So exes and past relationship and toxic people from our past just keep popping up all over the place. And I feel, you know, a Libra being one for many of you, and a Pisces being another really negative influence for a lot of you as well. And so if those people are popping up, I just want to assure you, okay, they're both showing up in the reverse position. The Lover card is also indicative of Gemini. So if you guys, Gemini and Scorpio, I just feel like it's not a very good mix. But if for some reason you're a Scorpio dating a Gemini, I feel that Gemini is trying to, you know, roll back in. The Pisces rolling back in, and the Libra. So these are coming up very prominently. If these people are anywhere near your life, they're all showing up in the reverse position. So I can assure you very strongly, they have not changed, and they're showing up right now just out of convenience. Okay, so please don't let them back in. You know, move on from it. I feel like you have the ability and you know better, so just move on from it. And I do see them coming back in very strongly with this spread. Okay, so if that resonates with you, just please be proactive about excluding them and sidelining them from your life, because they have not changed a single thing about their mentality. Alright, so please trust me on this. They have not changed. Okay, so let's start with the beginning of the month, okay? For those of you who are starting a new relationship or a new job, I just see that coming up very strongly. For those of you who are, you know, starting a new job, and I know that the cycle moving on to a different home environment, either, you know, physically finding a new place to work, finding a new job, those things are not all they seem, and they're not going to be permanent. So if you want to make any drastic lasting changes within your life, popping back in, relocating, and moving on from past situation and all of that, it's just there's so much happening and you're going to feel really overwhelmed. But at the same time, I feel that you're very refreshed too. You know, with the Fool in reverse, you're kind of hesitant about making these changes, but you know that they bring about new possibilities, new forms of abundance in your life. So you're I feel like deep down there's that anxiety, like, you know, a lot of anxiety. Rationally they make sense, but like there's also a lot of anxiety, having to relocate to start your life all over again and leaving all those exes behind. You're using those exes as like a security blanket. So it is very important for you this year to forge ahead. You have everything you need, you know, so she's got everything she needs and she's going to a safer place here. So you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. The people that you meet, that's in the future, and that's something we can always work out, you know, but this past situation has not served you, so it's time to move forward. And I feel I just feel a lot of anxiety. I feel a lot of anxiety for a lot of you regarding this newness. And it's almost like a situation, the Fool in reverse is like, oh, you've done it in the past and you keep on doing it and nothing has changed. So you're coming to realize that you have to do things differently this time in order to bring in a more positive outcome, and that's what's giving you the anxiety. So for example, for most of you, if you had to move on from a past situation, relocate, and switch things up and start over, then you're just like, oh, I've done it before, so what else is new? So that's where the anxiety kicks in, because enough for you to lift this anxiety, because I just feel so much anxiety here, so much imbalance in your emotional well-being, and just so much anxiety. Like from this card alone, it's just it's very, the effects is just very unsettling. So I just want you to know that that Saturn conjunct your sun for in your sign, and also conjunct your sun for the past 3 years, depending on the placement of your sun, it's making you a better person. And it's actually, after Saturn leaves, a lot more mature, loving situations, relationships, and circumstances into your life. So this anxiety, this hesitancy that you're feeling about starting over and starting a new life for yourself is basically unfounded, okay? So you have to let that go, and I guarantee that things will be better from now, just because Saturn is no longer making that really harsh aspect to your sun, and it's not in your sign, where it's forcing you to do like a massive overhaul of your belief system of your life. That is over. If you've learned from that, this year is going to be a breather. This is the exhale year, and things will be things will run smoothly, I feel. But it's very important for you to leave those situations behind, the ex-lovers, the ex-work situation, and also the emotional, like default emotional, like behaviors, like old patterns of behaviors, old jobs, old situations, and old lovers, okay? It is extremely important for you to do that this year, especially this month, because it's going to lift that anxiety, so that you can be a little more, open-armed when you embrace new change, okay? So I will go through the cards, but I just want to lay that out there, because I know that you've been through the ringer from for the past year. So I know things have been hard, okay? It's no joke, because Saturn squares, oppositions, and conjunctions are not fun. So I know that it's been hard, but this is a new energy coming in for you, and it's going to turn out positively. But again, like I said, we do have free will too. So if you enter something, you have to understand that if you enter something, it's, you're either in completely or you don't do it completely. This is not a situation where you have one foot out the door, okay? So you have to be in it totally or be out of it totally. Don't hesitate, don't take too long, and don't keep yourself like half-hearted, okay? So invest all the way or don't do it at all. Otherwise, you're going to get what you put in. So if you're not completely in, you're only going to get half the rewards, which is nothing. So, all in or all out, or just don't play at all, okay? So I need you to be very aware of that, just because of this full energy. He is so, he's not acting his full self, and he is not he's very hesitant. He's very hesitant, I feel, just with this energy. He's hesitant about moving forward, even though he has no choice. He's already moving on, but he's just really skittish. So he's like overthinking a lot of things, and coupled with this anxiety card, you feel that you don't have all the information you need, and you feel that there's this victim mentality that I see here, and it's just with this Justice card. And it's coming up in the reverse position, so things have not played out the way you want, or the full resolution, full disclosure is not being revealed. So then you're kept in this state of limbo where you don't really know what to do. You don't have access to all the information, therefore you cannot move forward. But you just have to have faith that the end of the month things will clear up for you. And I just feel that with Scorpios, your intuition is extremely strong, so you actually know what you're supposed to do, and it's just a matter of you getting like concrete evidence on how you can move forward. Okay, you have everything there. It's just a matter of you actively taking that leap of faith. And I feel that there's just so much anxiety from these two cards that I'm just picking up, and it's same time it is very hard, and it's easier said than done. But I have faith that you're actually going to run with it because of this card here. So with the Four of Cups in the upright position, this is usually indicative of you taking some time off to reassess. Whereas in this situation, you're ready to forge on ahead, okay? But it's just the anxiety. I think physically, you're going to do it. Mentally, you're still holding yourself back just because of that self-doubt and that pity, and that lack of information, and also that anxiety. So, like, physically, you're going to go for it. I feel that you think it's about time. You've been away from it for too long, so you're going to go for it. But yeah, but like mentally and emotionally, you're not going to be wholeheartedly into it. And I keep telling you, like, this is what I mean here. You have to go all in or just don't do it at all, okay? Life is not one foot out the door. So make up your mind. Make up your mind about what you want to do. And you know, I know this is also intuitive too, and a lot of people would agree, and a lot of people have heard it. But at the end of your life, it's the things that you don't do that you regret the most. Okay, so get in it all the way, or don't do it at all. Because the way you've been living your life so far, sidelining, and also with all this fear and anxiety, is not good for your mental and physical well-being. So I just would advise you to work up the courage to invest your heart, your soul into this new endeavor. Otherwise, at the end of your life, you will regret it. All right? So I do see, this situation here. You have a lot of charisma, you have a lot of sex appeal, and people are very charmed and attracted to you. So more reason for you to get in. If you're in a love situation, like I said, wait it out, okay? Just with the Lovers coming up in the reverse position. So I just feel that you have a lot of people coming to you. Um, I just see like you have a lot of choices. You have a lot of options just because of all the people here. You have the Moon, Justice, and the Lovers, and the Knight of Pentacles. So you have four options, and the energy is very strongly Four of Swords, Four of Cups. I'm sorry, Four of Wands, Four of Swords, Four of Wands, and the four people that are showing up here. You have four suitors, possibly. Three of them are definitely not good for you. The sign that I see is very, very good for you is the Earth sign. So, actually, if you are a Scorpio, like a Taurus would be the best match for you, physically, emotionally, and mentally. I just feel that a Taurus and a Scorpio, they're like the power couple. They're very compatible, and they complement each other extremely well, and it's a very stable pairing as well. So just keep in mind, I see this energy very prominent for this month for you. You have four suitors. Three of them are like horrible choices, okay? So one is a water sign, and I'm feeling a Pisces, a Gemini, and a Pisces, a Gemini, and a Libra. So go with that Earth sign, okay? If you need, just don't make it awkward, but if you go on dates or something, casually ask for their birthday, but I would definitely say, you know, you have very good intuition. So go with that earth sign. That earth sign has a lot more to offer you than the other three, because the other three don't know what they're doing. And I'm feeling that you pretty much can gauge it out. And at this point, you know, if it's a love relationship in which you have all these suitors and you don't know how to proceed, I just feel that you don't have enough information, and then, you know, on top of that, the past that you've dealt with, the past lovers, and the betrayal that you, because you made mistakes in the past, so, and you don't know how to proceed. So what I would suggest is follow your intuition too. You have very, very strong intuition. You're a very good judge of character. Scorpios are extremely discerning. Um, but like I said, okay, you have to once you've made up your mind and you decide on the person, you have to have your whole heart in it, because this earth sign is coming to you, and he or she is offering, you know, their heart on a silver plate for you. So this is not a decision that you make lightly, and this is not a relationship in which you can tread lightly, okay? So you have to be fully invested in it 100%. Otherwise, it is not fair for the other person, all right? So they are very sincere. They're in the upright position. They're offering you a lot. And in the past, though, there have been a lot of disruptions within your home, within your relationships. So you feel that you cannot trust again. And additionally, if this is an earth sign that you're dealing with, they've had a lot of emotional baggage that they've overcome to get them to this point where they're emotionally mature. Okay, so if this person is that sincere and that grounded and that emotionally mature, you cannot enter this relationship lightly. It's all or nothing. All right, so really, really think about this and make up your mind what you want to do. But either way, you know, have the decency to be very, very honest with them, because they're very good people. You know, this man or woman, this isn't the earth sign, so they're very sincere. I'm feeling strongly though it's a Taurus, just because it's between the Gemini and this 4 energy. It has to be would be the Taurus, and then the one before the Gemini, the time of Gemini, the Lovers, is the card for Gemini. I feel strongly it is a Taurus energy. So um so for those of you who are not in a, you know, a dating relationship, who are stable, and, you know, who are in a relationship who are stable, I would say, you know, this is also a very pivotal year in that you keep that person in your life. You invest your all into that relationship, okay? And for those of you who are, for some reason, are not dating, or, you know, are not in a relationship where you're building your career or you're doing something else, then I would say the same energy applies. If you're job hunting, there are possibly 4 jobs. Choose the one that you feel has the most longevity, okay? So the other ones might be fun. One might be fun. One might be emotionally nurturing, you know, you enjoy the work. And the other one might be, I don't know, might be more in line with your value system, or your you feel that it's like philosophically it aligns with your way of thinking. But choose the one that is most stable, because this is a year in which you have to rebuild. Because, you know, after the Saturn, after Saturn conjunct, after Saturn stays in your sign, it basically disrupts the things in your life, the foundation of your life. So this is a year to rebuild. So stick with something that is stable, all right? So for those of you whose this doesn't apply as a love relationship, but more as a career or a life choice, or like a junction in your life, then stick with whatever it is that is the most stable, okay? Choose the earth over the air and the water. So choose the earth. If you're thinking about a situation where you have to relocate, definitely don't go too far across the seas, or don't, you know, relocate too far where you're crossing waters and things like that. I know it's coming up very strongly here, but it's a situation where she's leaving this place and she's going to an air, but he's upside down, you know. So those of you who are relocating, just don't relocate too far. Don't cross the seas, relocate, things like that, okay? I feel that very strongly for those of you who, in which this situation plays out as a business prospect or as a situation where you have to relocate, all right, for work. Okay, so there's a lot of information from this spread. If anything resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and share. And please, please, please leave me comments. Let me know how this plays out in your life, because this is a very dense, very heavy, intense reading, and there's just so much going on, and you know, so many court cards and so many major arcana, but the major arcana are all in the reverse position. You have the Lover, the Fool, and Justice, and the Moon. So um a lot of like opposing energy, and a lot of oh my gosh, unscrupulous people. When you read the major arcana as people, they can also come up as very unscrupulous, okay? The only like the two redeeming things that I actually see from this is this Knight of Pentacles. He's great. He's great. He's very honest. And the Empress, okay? But this Empress energy is underneath this broken home situation, so it's troublesome. But let me know how this plays out in your life. I'm very curious about this spread, just because the power is so, everything is so strong, and there's so many like they're memorable Valentine's Day, and you know, this is a good year for you to restart your life, okay? So don't work too hard, and don't dwell and overthink things, okay? Go with your gut. Go with your gut, okay? And I'll see you next